Hi, I'm Navidan Sari, and in this video I'm going to show you some cool tricks and tips about game maker when you have a big game. So without any further ado, let's begin. You can see in this project I did create some object that we don't use, but normally you use some object like OBG camera that you want to control camera with, some object like OBG hot that you can control your UI or HUD with it, or our object for physics, object for mask that we did in last video, and we just added to our room at this top side of our room. But maybe we wanna add this OBG HUD, OBG camera, OBG physics, OBG mask to all of our rooms. And let's say we have 100 room for 100 level. So how we can know that we add this OBG camera, for example, to our room? Did we add it? So one way to do it, you can go to instance layer property in here and you can see whatever object that you put in your room. So you can see we add OBG mask, camera HUD and physics to this room. But when you have like 1,000 of this object in your room, how you can find it in here, you should click on it and you can see it here. But there is a better way to do it. Maybe you have a project for a client and this is the best way to do it so they can read it as easy as possible. Okay, so what we should do, let's just go to sprites, and in here I want to create a new group, create group, and I want to call it object guide. Okay, and create an sprite in here, and I want to call it spr object, O for object, G for guide. Okay, and after that, let's say we want to create it for camera, so let's just call it sproj camera. Okay, so you know that I'm all about readability of codes and easy to develop games. So if the client give you a project, I think you should do it like this. So first thing that I want to do, I want to change the size of this sprite to something like, let's just do something like 256, okay, to 32, and apply. And now you can see our sprite is this size. Of course all of you know how to do it. And edit image, and in here create a text, and first thing you should select a font like this. You can use whatever font you want, but it should be readable. And after that, the style, I want to use bold, and for the size I want to use 20. And let's just head here and create our text like this, camera, and we can give it a color to be more beautiful, right? So now that we have this, let's just save it and go here and go to our object camera and give that a sprite to it. So this is in a sprite, in object guide, and give it the sprite of the camera, right? And we don't want it to be visible because it's just a guide for us. Okay, so make it invisible. And now if we go to our room, you can see our camera is here. And now let's just do it for the, let's say, or our object mask, object HUD, and object physics. So for mask, let's just duplicate this and call it mask. I did duplicate it with Ctrl D. And now let's just double click on it, edit image, and in here let's just get rid of this camera because we don't, it's not for camera. For that we can just delete this, but it's too small, so let's just make it bigger. And now again we want it for mask, and let's just give it a color like this, save it, and again go to our OBG mask, give it that sprite and make it invisible. And now if we go to a room, now you can see that we add this camera to our room, we add this mask to our room, and you can find it and edit it in here, and you don't need to use this property panel in here. Okay, so we can do it for both of these objects, but you can do it yourself. You get the idea how you can do it. Next tips that I want to show you is, let's say this OBG guide, I want to give it a color. So like commenting, we can make it green so we know all the comments and guide for us in this object guide. So for the object, again, we can give it a color like red. Okay, you can see it here, and it make it beautiful. It make our project beautiful, right? So that's another tips that I think you should use, and I think that's enough for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to help me, please hit that like button. It helps me a lot. And subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Bye.